What's going on? It's Bob Skinner talking Giants, recapping a Giants win in week one? How does that make sense? The Giants haven't won a week one game ever? First week one win since 2016. The first time being over 500 since that year. Sterling Shepard is the only member left from that team. And what a win, man. I mean, Giants were shut out at halftime, down 13-0. All hope was lost. This team is done. I mean, everyone was doom and gloom, and kind of rightfully so. They come out, and man, they pull out a win. And two big winners, I think, in this game from the Giants' side of point of view. Brian Dable, I love him going for two at the end, and that's not a reaction. Like I tweeted it out before. Like go for two. I love going for two there. Don't play for overtime, especially with the current state of the New York Giants team. So I love that. Brian Dable going for two at the end. Really like that. You play to win the game. Shout out Herm Edwards. And then the star of the night, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley put the team on his back. Had 194 total yards from scrimmage, 164 on the ground on 9.1 yards per catch or yards per carry, 6 catches, and then the 2-point conversion at the end of the game. He just willed them into the end zone. The play didn't work, but Saquon broke a tackle and then broke through and made that play. He had his first 50-plus yard run since 2019. At the beginning of the half, had a 68-yard run, had another big run, and was solid all over. Even when he was catching the ball in checkdowns, you notice he didn't try and juke a million people. Just he got his yards and then ran through the chest of defenders. And I said it on our player profile episode on Saquon a couple weeks ago. Stop acting like 2021 Saquon Barkley defined him more than 2018 and 2019 Saquon Barkley. It's coming off the injury. The offensive line was horrible. Did Saquon contribute to some of their lack of success last year? Yes. But it was a perfect storm of him not having the burst, not having the same ability to break tackles, coming off the injury and playing behind a horrible offensive line. So Saquon Barkley, he put the team on his back. I know people have a lot of different opinions on him, but he flat out, he was the MVP of this game, and I don't think it was close with anybody else. So credit to Saquon Barkley, man. He had a chip on his shoulder all summer, all offseason, came out and didn't just he backed up his word. So I'm very happy for Saquon Barkley, and especially him to get a win. First time of him having a winning record since being at Penn State. Now the other main player of the game, Daniel Jones, not player of the game, but just main face for the Giants, Daniel Jones. You look at his stats, and they're not bad. 17-21, 188 yards, 8.9 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns and 1 interceptions. But to me, he didn't look good. Now, it's a win, so wins cover up blemishes. But I thought besides the one deep pass and a couple other, and there was a few other, good throws, but that 66-yarder to Shep, which was awesome. That was an alert call. You're not supposed to throw that. Mark Sanchez actually did a good job breaking it down on the broadcast, but that was a good throw. I know people that's not underthrown. I guess you could lead him more, but that's a good throw, and it wasn't a blown coverage either. When he's making that throw, the corner's right there with him. Good job reading the corner's hips and pulling the trigger to Sterling Shepard. But besides that, the red zone interception after the Titans muffed the punt, that's not every interception is created equal. That's one of the worst Daniel Jones interceptions we've seen. Late, bad throw, soft. That was just a horrible throw. And again, it's 3rd and 9. You live to kick the field goal. I know you want to score there, but this you can't make that. You can't make that throw. You got to dirt that. You got to run. You got to do something. Try and improvise. But that was just throw his hands up. That was a throw when it's 10 seconds left in the game and it's 4th down type throw. That was bad. And I will say, and this is compared to other years, he just didn't look comfortable in the pocket. Now, the offensive line was bad, pass blocking wise, so obviously that contributes to it. But we've seen Daniel Jones behind bad offensive lines. Last year, I thought his pocket manipulation improved a ton. And obviously, Andrew Thomas played really good in this game, too. So his blind side was protected besides the strip sack. The strip sack, I know, I don't blame that on him. You can't get blown up immediately, Josh Azudu. And Daniel Jones is in his backswing. I don't blame him for that, but he just didn't look comfortable in the pocket. I thought last year he did a good job manipulating the pocket compared to other years. But even it's I would rather have 2019 Daniel Jones where he didn't manipulate the pocket well, but he stood in there and he looked comfortable. He looked too comfortable at times, so it looked weird. And he didn't look as fast as he had in years past. I don't know. He just didn't look comfortable. But it's a win, so build on it. The stats aren't bad, so this won't be a game that people, and you win. This won't be a game that people will go and be like, look at how bad Daniel Jones is. because most people don't watch the Giants like us. But I just thought it wasn't great. Like I said, the high completion percentage, but a lot besides the long touchdown, a lot of the yards came on like 3rd and 20s. Like Richie James, I know people will give him credit. I wasn't super impressed with Richie James. His 2 best plays came on 3rd and 20s where they didn't convert, and then he dropped that big 3rd down. That was a really good Daniel Jones throw. That ended up being dropped by Richie James. So technically he would have been 18-21 if it wasn't for that drop. The offensive line pass blocking was pretty bad. More so the left guard spot. I didn't think Feliciano or Glowinski looked particularly good. Evan Neal, I got to go back and rewatch the tape on Evan Neal. I saw some bad reps, but he wasn't like an issue, which is good. He's a rookie. Andrew Thomas obviously dominated, but Ben Bredesen wasn't good, but Josh Azudu was worse. Josh Azudu's not ready to play. So Ben Bredesen, Devery Hamilton, those guys should be playing, and they rotated them. Like Joe Judge and Gooch style, they rotated them, where Bredesen started the game, then Azudu came in, and then Bredesen started the half, and then Azudu came back in, and I think they even brought Bredesen back in. Like, it was a true Joe Judge rotation. But Azudu's just not ready. Let him develop it, because he got work. Even on the 66-yard touchdown to Sterling Shepard, he got blown up. And that's why it was a little underthrown, as Daniel Jones had to throw that ball, 56, 57 yards off his back foot, because Azudu got blown up, like, quickly. So, on the defensive side, I think Wink Martindale did a good job. Plus, Ryan Tannehill didn't look good. But I thought they did a good job funneling the run game inside. Like, they held Derrick Henry to 82 yards and less than 4 yards per carry, I thought it was a good matchup because Wink Martindale he's good at stopping the run with his scheme. I thought it was a favorable matchup for one, playing the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill's not that great, but he's a solid QB. But a weak wide receiver group. They got some chunk plays from the Giants, but no total busts of plays. I thought Aaron Robinson looked fine. Like he didn't get picked on or anything. The Giants did give him help. Adoree Jackson was pretty awesome. He got called for a PI, but it was a PI, but it was more of a, I'm not mad at him for that one. The real issue, though, is we talked about it. Darnay's like a solid corner, but Darnay Holmes, he struggles in man coverage. He got 2 holding calls, both on 3rd downs, and then gave up the pass that, I feel like I buried the lead. The Titans missed a field goal that would have won the game. Now, I'm not going to apologize for that because the Giants have been screwed like that, so I'm taking wins any ways we can. And then the linebackers are issues in coverage. We talked about, they cut Blake because he doesn't fit the scheme and cover. He's not a coverage linebacker. Well, guess what? Austin Calicho and Tate Crowder both gave up touchdowns to backup running back and John Trell Hilliard for the Titans. Other notes that I have. Here's my biggest negative. Play Kadarius Toney. There's no way you could, he played 3 snaps, I think, in the first half. Play that guy. I know he's, might not be the easiest guy to work with, but play him. Get him involved. Because once you did, you saw him do amazing things. You gave him a speed sweep, and I don't even really like those plays. Takes it 20 yards. Beautiful. They try and do a trick play, have him throw the ball. Dead. He gets in and gets 6 yards out of it. So Kadarius Toney, I know he was banged up a little in the summer, but he's a guy who should be out there, and there should, you don't need to reinvent the wheel to get Kadarius Toney involved. He's a good wide receiver. So play Kadarius Toney. That's my only thing that I'm come away from this game mad about. Play Kadarius Toney. He's a difference maker. Play him. So anyways, we'll have a podcast out 8 a.m. in the morning. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Giants victory Monday on week 1, baby. So appreciate you guys. Talking Giants versus the world. It's the first time the Talking Giants has ever been had a winning record podcast. So appreciate you guys. See you in the morning with the pod. Let's go Big Blue.